Hi everybody, my name is Myles Wallace and I'm with Peak Performers. I'm joined today by Chris Farrington. Chris, what do you do at Peak?
I'm the IT vertical manager here at Peak. We place professionals with disabilities across our IT roles for the state of Texas and on the private side as well.
And for those of you who haven't heard of Peak Performers before, we are a nonprofit staffing and recruiting agency that helps professionals with disabilities find jobs and advance their careers and helps clients find great talent as well. We're here today to talk with you a little bit more about disability disclosure, which I don't know if you've ever been asked by a company about disability disclosure. Have you experienced that before?
I have. Almost every time in onboarding, there's a little box somewhere on a form that often gets overlooked. And one of the things that gets you starting to think about it, do I actually have a disability?
I don't know about you, but I don't feel like a checkbox. And I think that's where a lot of companies might struggle, is that human beings are not checkboxes. We wanted to talk a little bit more about the benefits of self-disclosure for if you are an employee of a disability. And I wanted to start off with a story. I don't know about y'all, but I spend a little bit too much time on Facebook sometimes. And I've been tracking one particular friend of mine from college for the last decade right now. And I've really watched him have a very rough life. He has had 3 different marriages, I think. He's also had a string of bad financial decisions, a string of job losses. And he recently came out to his family as being diagnosed with bipolar. And I'm like, oh, that makes so much more sense. And now it's easy for me as an outsider looking in to kind of judge his life and judge the decisions that he's made and go, well, why did you make that choice? And why didn't you come out earlier? Why didn't you seek out the help that you need? But really, it's not so much different for me. I don't know about you. What about you? How has your journey been?
So it very, very much similar for me. You know, I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD until I was 35 years old. Looking back on it and now doing a lot of follow-up research and conversations with various medical professionals, my life now makes sense as to why I made the decisions I've done. You start thinking about, okay, well, when these dopamine-seeking tendencies and actions take place, there's a reason why that my brain is catered towards these things. Fortunately, you know, going through this process, it's really helped find my most true, authentic self and helped me be the best version of myself now that I've had the opportunity to identify my disability and then really lean into it as well.
For me, I have a severe high-frequency hearing loss. Prior to really working at Peak Performers, I didn't really acknowledge it. I just kind of worked around it. And in fact, I really struggled because I worked in a crowded retail environment where everybody's basically yelling all day long. And it was very, very challenging. And here's the other thing about hearing loss, as it is with many disabilities, is that it's not a matter of recovery, it's a matter of managing the symptoms. It's not a matter of if I'm going to go down the hill. I'm going to go down the hill. It's just a matter of how fast I go down the hill. And simply by managing my symptoms and wearing hearing aids, not only can I hear better and function better in communication, but additionally, I go down the hill less quickly. I was kind of thinking about this with my friend with his bipolar, and many people with bipolar experience that ups and downs, and I've really kind of watched over the years as his peaks have gotten higher and his valleys have gotten lower, and he's really struggled increasingly over the years too.
Some of the things that we often forget about is the people around us care and love for us, and the fears that we hold on to by not acknowledging our challenges with our disabilities really harm us far more than we possibly could realize. When we really start to accept and really identify as having that disability, it doesn't define you, but your loved ones, your coworkers, your manager, all can then start to understand a little bit better, okay, something's going on right now for you, me, can really come from a place of understanding and then be able to make those little accommodations for you. I know you and I often have conversations, and sometimes I'll be on the other side of the room talking to you and I remind myself, Myles can't hear me right now. I need to walk over to Myles, face him, and speak at a moderate tone clearly. For myself, I know that you do this all the time. If I'm in the middle of something, you come over, you wait till I'm finished my immediate task. Chris, do you have a minute I could talk to you? Those little things that we do as a sign of respect for one another make our lives so much easier and really continue to promote and foster that inclusivity that's really important and vital to a successful workplace.
Here would be my message for you. If you have a disability, you owe it to yourself to acknowledge it and to seek out the help that you need. So you're not a checkbox. Your situation is unique. Your situation is different, and the employment situation that you'd be looking for is unique as well too. But you can really do yourself a lot of good by acknowledging it. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. Again, this has been Myles and Chris from Peak Performers. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Ta-ta for now.